Hey guys, it's Masterath here, and welcome to the second Preliminary League for the Global Trophy 2021. That even with the promos that I actually did leading up to this, it's actually the 17th Global Trophy, not the 16th. I'm bad at math. I'm joined alongside, well...
Yeah, it's me again in a shock twist. Sometimes it's okay to get a simple maths thing wrong. It's fine. You know, look at the Conservative government. You know, they spent so much money on test and trace, and look how that went.
Indeed. I mean, you never know. Maybe when this video goes up, they may have sorted it.
Yeah. Let's just move on from that.
All right. So this is the Asia and Oceania, or I guess we could just call it Asia at this point. Preliminary League, where were essentially 16 teams from Asia and Oceania as well. There are a couple in here. Fight it out for the chance at the Asian qualifiers in the Global Trophy 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously last week we saw Norway taking it home. That was my dog. I don't know if you heard my dog then.
Don't know. Maybe on your mic, but I didn't, so...
she's crying. You can probably hear her on my end. Do apologise if you can. She's crying because she's not allowed in the office. It's not her room.
All right.
Anyway,
you've got an office. I've just got a studio-bedroom.
Well, what can you say?
But basically, desperately need a skip for. But regardless, yep, the Asian qualifiers, the Asian Preliminary League. Shall we begin? Shall we begin, Sam?
I think we should. Sorry, I was just letting my dog in.
Oh, right, okay.
From my end.
I thought for a minute, no, not connection issues this early.
No, I'm fine. It's just I let the dog in because she was crying at the door. So I thought I'll let her in. She can have a sniff around.
Fair enough. So this one has been sponsored by Sam's dog.
Yep, she's called Meg. She's we don't know what she is. She's a mutt, basically. She looks like a border terrier, but she's the size of a staffy. So, yeah. She's lovely. She's blind, and she's lovely.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
All right. So the Asia and Oceania Qualifier Preliminary League. Shall we kick off with the dud team?
I'll go on then. So obviously, as we mentioned before, if there is a dud team, this is because you can't have a non-human player tournament strictly. You have to have one human control team. And this is done, once again, by the team that is lowest in the FIFA rankings. So in this case, Chris, we have...
Well, guess, are they from Asia or Oceania? Have a quick guess.
It's gonna be Oceania, because they're all the most prolific of footballing nations.
Welcome, Papua New Guinea!
Wow.
Indeed, and they are followed by... Fiji. Year's... dud team, I think.
Oh, so they actually get to compete this year. That's nice.
Yeah, they've gone up some rankings.
Aren't Fiji fairly good at rugby? I believe they are, right? Or is that...
Yes. Yeah, they are pretty good at rugby, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Next up, we have Vanuatu.
Another one of the Oceania teams. We have 3 Oceania teams already making up this 16-team league. There's not many Oceania teams that pre-qualify for the Asia section. I think it's just the 2, right?
Yes, Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand, by the way, by the skin of their teeth this year.
Oh, really?
Yes. One more position down, and they would have been in preliminaries.
Interesting.
That's how close it was. So maybe next year, New Zealand, you gotta get into that top 8. I'll tell you that much.
It's gonna be risky for them to not get into that top 8, but I'm sure they'll give it their best shot.
Yeah, I'm sure. Next up, another team from Oceania, we have Tahiti.
They were in the Confederations Cup a few years ago. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I believe I vaguely remember.
I think
with how bullshit 2020's been, I've kind of forgotten about everything else in life. But yeah, I do seem to remember that, yes.
I'm fairly sure they played Brazil. I think they lost. Or was it Spain? It might have been Spain that they lost against, but they scored. I remember they scored. Yeah, it was. Well, they played both of them, I think. But anyway.
What a group! What a poor group for Tahiti.
Yeah, I know, right?
That goalkeeper that Tahiti goalkeeper just picking out more balls than Pour on happy hour. Right.
Yep.
Next up, we have our first contingent from Asia, Singapore.
I believe are they a principality, Singapore, technically? Because the capital city is Singapore, I believe. I don't know if that's true or not. Someone will correct me, I'm sure, in the comments.
Ross?
Logan, someone.
I think it was Ross that corrected me that not only do I believe Ivory Coast and Ireland, or Ivory Coast and someone else
have the same flag,
but also Romania and I think it's Romania and Chad.
Yeah, and I think Moldova's very similar to those two as well. They've got a but they've got a little symbol in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, and I think there might have been something in Morocco as well. Not Morocco. Monaco. That's it.
Yes. But I think Poland have the same, but it's flipped upside down.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the other way around. So the white's on the top for Poland, whereas Monaco is the red on top. Moving on.
I don't really care too much for countries that were created after this game was created. Because the global trophy is all that matters in life now. This virus has taken out most of it. Right, next up we have, speaking of New Caledonia.
Yes. In previous years, they've been represented by other teams as well, so it's not the first time that they've featured. However, because New Caledonia didn't exist in 2001, unfortunately, we can't play it as them specifically. We have to use someone else.
Yep, and in this case, it is the Dominican Republic they've got.
Fascinating country, Dominican Republic.
Indeed.
I think it's on the same island as Haiti, actually. Yeah, so there you go.
All right on that one. But yeah, so essentially what that is, it's the team with the ranking below them in the FIFA rankings that gets to represent them, as long as they're not in that tournament itself.
Yeah, and obviously because Dominican Republic is in South America, they obviously won't represent in Asia, so makes sense.
Exactly. Also, I think Ross might try and correct us by saying that Dominican Republic's actually in Central America, but...
Geography, man. So I actually took geography at school. I got a B.
Well, I know they're not South America because all South American teams automatically qualify without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm fairly sure. Yeah, it's in. Is it in the Caribbean? I want to say it is. Something like that. They're in that region of the world.
South Central America. It's not specifically South America, but it's like lower half of Central America, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, with out of the way, next up it is the Maldives.
Beautiful country, by all accounts.
Indeed. Next up, it is Afghanistan. Not
beautiful
a beautiful country.
I don't know, I've never been. I'm sure it has very beautiful areas of Afghanistan.
Well, no, there are sort of like some areas around the sort of the war-torn countries that are actually really nice. You know,
I'm sure there are.
Some of them have got really stunning views, and it's like, shame these wars ruin most of them.
Yeah, basically. Thanks, America. Cheers.
Oh yes, Global Trophy finalists America. Unlike our country. Next up, it is Yemen.
Speaking of war-torn countries,
try to not make a Jamaican joke out of that one.
I won't. I'll take the high ground on this one.
I'm also going to try to do that because I think we've done that already.
We've killed it to death. At this point, I think this is the 5th global trophy we've recorded for YouTube. So you know.
I believe so. Yes, we'd go over old ground at some point. You know.
We always do.
We always do. Next up, it is formerly part of the UK until 23 years ago, Hong Kong.
Yeah, speaking of war-torn countries as well, I mean, it's very sad what's going on over there at the moment. Hopefully there can be peaceful resolutions.
Indeed, definitely. Next up, a team that, well, if you count out Australia and New Zealand, they are the high-flying team in Oceania. Well, I guess if you count out New Zealand now, because Australia's in Asia now. Anyway,
Yep.
the Solomon Islands.
I mean, what can I say? Powerhouses of world football, the Solomon Islands.
Hey, on a nice note, they weren't far off actually automatically qualifying here.
They weren't. Obviously, they're in the top 5 or top 6 at least.
Exactly. So fair play to them.
Yep.
Next up, Chinese Taipei following them after that.
Yeah. I don't know much about Chinese Taipei. I can't lie to you. So.
That's right. Usually the sort of Asian qualifiers and Asian preliminaries are usually shorter than the European ones because we just don't know as much about them.
we really don't. It's sad.
Next up, Myanmar. Try and think of a fact that doesn't include it used to be called Burma.
I was going to say Burma. That's really sad. So Myanmar. Top Gear went there once.
Indeed, they did.
They did.
Good
there you
episode
go.
That was.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Next up, it's Turkmenistan.
I assume just by the name that they had some affiliation with Turkey in the past. I can only assume.
Might be, or it might be sort of the term for locals, like the Turks.
Yeah, or the Turkmenis. I don't know.
I think it might be I think it might be something to do with Turkey. Not too sure, but I think Turkmenistan would be an interesting one. It'd probably crash the game because of the length of the name.
Yeah, the length of their country name is just too long.
It's like, nope, too big, you gotta change that. And then they went, fine, we'll go for Turkmenistan then.
Yeah.
Next up, the Philippines. They got pretty close as well, actually, to automatically qualifying.
I'm fairly sure the Philippines have had fairly decent runs in the Global Trophy in the past as well. They tend to qualify if they're in the finals. In the qualifiers, I think. They have qualified a few times.
Yeah, they usually do okay. I mean, not to the level of like an Iran or an Australia or Saudi Arabia.
They're not an immediate powerhouse team that you think of, but they can do some damage.
Exactly. And last but not least, the favourites, probably, I'd say, to win the Preliminary League, Tajikistan.
Yes, one of the 3 stands in this competition.
Exactly, alongside Turkmenistan and Afghanistan. This does include Uzbekistan, and, well, I guess one of them's no longer a stan. The Kyrgyz Republic, formerly Kyrgyzstan.
Of course.
Who are no longer a stan, so no one stand by them at all. I don't want to see your fan cams on Twitter.
Yes, we see you. The hardcore fans of the Global Trophy, we know you're out there.
Yep. I don't want to see your Wrigley's Bobblemint Chewing Gum advertisement fan cams. In fact, I do! Wrigley, send me money! Right.
Please.
So, with that, Papua New Guinea are the dud team here. We kick off with New Caledonia kicking off against Afghanistan. 2 teams in the lower half, according to the FIFA rankings here.
Yep, 2 lower-rated teams. It'll be interesting to see if the Dominican Republic can represent their friends in a good stead here.
That's a very interesting sort of partnership up right there, really, isn't it? New Caledonia and the Dominican Republic.
Yep,
it's like,
absolutely.
Do they want you to take a breath halfway through pronouncing both of their names?
Absolutely not.
Oh, Afghanistan with the win there. So FIFA rankings currently doing well.
Yep, good start for Afghanistan as well. Obviously, they go top because they are the first team to play.
It's not going to stay like that for a while. I can see Tajikistan doing pretty well here. Next up, it is Hong Kong versus Fiji.
I don't know where my money's going on this one. I'd say probably Fiji.
It's a draw.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. Get a clip for that one. It's a tie. Maybe.
Excuse me a second. Back away. 2 minutes.
Yeah. While he's doing that, I'm going to eat some pizza.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my cat and my dog decided they wanted to fight each other.
Oh, great.
Hopefully we'll be able to get that cut out. But anyway, I've got the dog now. We're all good.
I'm going to eat pizza.
This is all staying in.
No!
Staying in.
No, I refuse. I'm not having the Masterath channel turn into an ASMR channel of me eating pizza.
Well, I kind of think we'd get the big views, mate. What are you on about?
Oh yeah, because that's what everyone wants to see on an ASMR channel, is a fat, short, bearded man eating pizza badly. Right.
Sensual. Yeah, sensual.
I didn't even know people had that fetish. They've got it for everything else, apparently.
Apparently so.
Right, next up, it's Myanmar versus the Maldives.
Could not tell you which way this one's going to go.
Well, Myanmar can certainly tell you.
Yep, good win for Myanmar there. Well done to them.
Yeah, 5-0. Next up, Singapore will get their first 3 points on the board against Papua New Guinea.
Yes, of course, Papua New Guinea, the dud team, and will not get the result that they want. Singapore will.
We get to add more referees to the Global Trophy referee wiki. Well, of course.
Oh, it's RJ Fernandez. What a legend.
He's always there, isn't he? RJ Fernandez.
He is. He is a legend of the game.
Oh, by the way, that Braun guy from last week. When I was looking through, like the highlights to sort of hype up this trophy, it was actually him who we said was the conspirator against the Faroe Islands and their coach.
Oh, was it? Interesting.
Was Mr.
Okay.
Braun. So if he turns up here, shoot him.
Interesting. We will see. We'll see how the Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands aren't featuring this year, are they?
Yeah,
so.
they. Well, when I said they gave up back in 2018,
they quit. That was it.
I think they actually did just quit.
Yep. They've been back since. We don't know where they are. So if you have any information about where the Faroe Islands may have ended up, please let us know at the Global Trophy Twitter account.
At Masterath.
Yep.
Essentially.
Or at SamElliott64. I don't mind. You can tweet either of us.
But yeah, I have actually on my nearest sort of like electric sort of the wooden electric post, I have put like the old piece of paper saying missing. It's got the Faroe Islands flag on it.
Oh bless.
Like the Global Trophy missed them.
Who doesn't miss them?
All right, next up it is Tahiti versus the Solomon Islands. High flyers, the Solomon Islands here, and they take on their fellow Oceania contingent.
Interesting one, this one. I think it's going to be a Tahiti. Oh, it is a Tahiti win. Look at that. 3-0.
Ooh, I was not expecting for Tahiti to win there. Solomon Islands got to up their game here very quickly.
Yeah, one of the higher ranked Oceania teams.
Yep, exactly. Next up, Vanuatu versus Taipei.
Vanuatu for me.
Bloody hell, how would you pick that?
What can I say? Mystic Sam.
Okay, well, does that make me for Hungary last week then?
Horny Chris.
Perverted Chris. No, that is not gonna stick.
Turkmenistan versus Yemen next up.
Turkmenistan win for me. Yes. 2-1 Turkmenistan. Go on, you menis.
Interesting
you
stuff
go
there.
nuts. See, there are menis against just one men. The menis
there
win.
You go. The menis. Well, obviously, because if it's 11 against 1, then it's going to be the 11 that win, isn't it? To be honest with you.
And the one was from the Faroe Islands. We're taking the piss out of them, even though they're not even in this bleeding tournament.
Yep. Tajikistan versus the Philippines.
We missed them that badly. This is between the top two teams, actually, according to the FIFA rankings, in this preliminary league.
Absolutely.
And, well, Tajikistan got off to a good start, 1-0.
They do indeed.
Next up, it's Fiji versus Afghanistan. Two teams in that top 8 so far, but then again, it has been only one match.
Yep, I believe Fiji did lose, but only by the one, I think. Was it? Is that right? No, hang on. They drew. They were the only team that drew, weren't they? I'm looking at the wrong column, you see.
That's right. Oh, Afghanistan off to a good start so far. 2 wins in a row for them.
Yep, good win for them. I think that's important for them. They need to keep this momentum up.
Yep, New Caledonia now versus Hong Kong. Two teams in that middle pack, according to the FIFA rankings. And, well, even here, it's kind of middle of the pack for both of them.
Yep. See how they get on.
Dominican Republic, aka New Caledonia, with a win there over Hong Kong, 2-0.
Yep, good result for the New Caledonia team, and obviously Papua New Guinea once again will not be playing here. They lose 3-0 to the Maldives, who didn't get off to the best start, so that's a good enough reason for them, I think, for the Maldives.
D. Morgan.
Big Darren, mate. I reckon.
Darren Morgan. I think
Darren
Daz.
Morgan, yeah. Yeah, big Daz Morgan.
No,
mate.
Dash Morgan.
Dash Morgan. Okay, is he like some kind of living out his superhero fantasy, but he's not a superhero?
No, like Dash Gordon.
You mean Flash Gordon?
Yeah. Instead of Flash Gordon, Dash Morgan.
It's Dash Morgan. It's B-Tech Flash Gordon.
Hey, I took B-Tech! Bastard!
Sorry, mate. Myanmar
Honestly,
versus Singapore.
it was shit.
Say my blushes.
So you
Say
are
my
right
blushes.
on that one.
Save my blushes.
Yeah.
Myanmar and Singapore, please.
Myanmar with the win!
And they go top.
Yeah.
With on goal difference so far.
Good for them so far, yeah. Taipei now versus the Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands really need to get back into this. I mean, I know it's been one
two
match,
teams with a
but
loss. Yeah.
As we know, sometimes it's that early match that gets you.
Yep, and I say two teams that started with a loss, so an important game for both.
Nice for Solomon Islands. They needed that.
Yep, back in the game now, and Taipei down the bottom, struggling a little bit.
Yep, Tahiti now versus Vanuatu. Two teams who are pretty high at the moment. High up
Yeah,
there.
they both won their first game. Yeah, they both won their first game, so this could be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Oh, it's a draw between the two.
Okay, fair enough.
Vanuatu go to 4th. Tahiti still in 3rd.
How long for, though? I mean, the next two teams obviously both lost as well in Philippines and Yemen.
Yep, on that one, could be very... Philippines with that win there. That's important for them.
Good result for Philippines. Yeah, needed that, didn't they?
They move all the way up to 6th place. Turkmenistan and Tajikistan, two teams that won their first match.
They did.
And Tajikistan carry on. I said I thought Tajikistan was going to be one of the bigger teams here, and well, they're proving it. They're right up there.
Yep, so far so good for Tajikistan, one of 3 teams currently with a 100% record.
Yep, and at the moment, 4 teams have not let in a goal yet. 3 teams, if you count Papua New Guinea, haven't scored yet, which is good.
Concerning for Hong Kong as they play Afghanistan, who are currently 2nd in the table now.
Yep, Hong Kong down in 13th. Okay, I was expecting a bit more than that from Afghanistan, on an honest note, but
it's a win.
A win's a win in the end.
Yep.
Next up, Dominican Republic, Fiji. Two teams that do really need a win. I mean, Dominican Republic could probably draw here and be alright, but Fiji definitely
need to start getting
one.
it going, don't they? Yeah, they need to get going.
Oh, no. Not
Good result for New
Fiji.
Caledonia. Yeah, good result for New Caledonia, though. They move up into 3rd position. Obviously, they've played a game more than most of the teams around them, but a good result nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly needed to keep up with the front pack here. Maldives, Singapore now.
Could go either way, this one.
4-3 to Singapore.
Could be a fun game, that would, wouldn't it?
They did not give up on that one. Fair play to them.
Yep, Singapore move up to 4th in the table. And next up is our next dud match.
Yep. Who were the winners in that Singapore match? The fans.
Yeah,
4-3.
the fans at the stadium. Yeah.
Oh, he's a new one. Spurway.
Mr. Spurway.
Well, his first name's just legally Mister.
Yeah.
Was that the same way that some people have got the surname Senior?
Or surname.
Yeah. No, I always wonder with people whose surnames are Senior. If there's 2 of them in the same family, like a father and son, that've got the same name, is the father called blah blah Senior Senior?
Maybe.
Technically, that's right. That bloke's there going, oh, please, can my son just have a child and name it after me just so I can be called Esquire? What if there's a 4th in a generation that does that? What does that become now? Old Fart Esquire Senior Junior. Anyway, without the way, next up it's Solomon Islands versus Vanuatu.
Could be interesting, this one. 2 teams are doing quite well so far.
Yeah, Solomon Islands have fought. They're still fighting back. Look at that. 2-1.
Yep, up to 6th. It's good stuff for them. That's 2 wins out of 3, and I think the first game was quite difficult as well for Solomon Islands, so fair play.
Yeah, they've bounced back pretty quickly there. At the moment, 3 Oceania teams in that top 8.
Yep, so far so good for the Oceanians. Like, Tahiti could get a bigger stranglehold on it if they get a win against Taipei.
They do!
Which they do. Look
Good
at
job
that.
for Tahiti there.
Fantastic stuff.
Yep, up into 3rd now. Tajikistan looking to keep their 100% win record going against Yemen, who are right at the bottom so far.
Yeah, they've only scored 1 in 2 so far, Yemen. Oh, and it continues.
It does. It was close. Closer than I thought it would be, but yep, a victory for Tajikistan puts them up into the top 3. The Philippines now versus Turkmenistan. 9th versus 10th here. This is important.
Crucial match for both of these two. Like, a win here gets a stranglehold in that top 8, I feel.
Yeah, so it's going to end in a draw.
Of course it is.
It didn't.
Oh, no, it isn't. It's Philippines.
Philippines with the win there. Up into 6th they go, pushing Vanuatu out of the top 8.
So, yep, good stuff for the Philippines.
Yep, Afghanistan now versus the Maldives. Maldives down in 10th place. Afghanistan up in 2nd.
Yep, unbeaten as of yet.
Oh, they stay unbeaten.
15-0, look at that.
They almost certainly stay unbeaten, Jesus.
So far, that's the highest score of the year so far. Well done to Afghanistan.
Yeah, 15-0. I mean, if they got 5 more goals, that would have been a global trophy record.
Yeah, not far off, was it?
Yeah. Next up is New Caledonia versus Myanmar. Myanmar up in 2nd place right now. New Caledonia in 5th.
Yep, and obviously they've also got a 100% record to defend Myanmar. Dominican Republic did lose one.
Oh, Myanmar slipped there.
Big result for Dominican Republic.
Yep, now Fiji going to get their first win on the board. At the moment, they've only got 1 point. They're about to get 3 here.
They are? Fiji?
The dud team. It's Polyrakis!
I've never heard of him before in my life.
Alexi Polyrakis, obviously.
Yeah, no, I feel like he'd be Greek with a name like Polyrakis, so like maybe like Angelios.
Aristotle.
Angelos. No, that's too obvious. Angelos.
Angelos is nice.
Yeah.
It's like we're discussing bleeding baby names or something. Angelos is nice, don't you think? I prefer to call him Arbuthnot. How about Gervais? Sounds like a lump of French cheese.
It does.
It does. Speaking of cheese, that pizza's looking at me funny. Right, Hong Kong, Singapore. Get the pizza out your head. This is torture for me. All right, Hong Kong, Singapore. So Singapore currently in 7th place. Hong Kong,
13th. They need a result here, don't they?
Well,
They don't. They got one, but it's not the one that they wanted.
they got a result. It's not the result that was the best response, but it wasn't the worst either, I guess.
Yeah, it keeps Singapore within reach, I
Yeah.
think.
Solomon Islands now versus Yemen. Yemen still at the bottom. No points yet.
1 goal, though. That's important.
They've just scored 3 more.
Brilliant result for Yemen.
Yeah, Yemen shoots right up to 11th place there.
Brilliant result. That is a shot in the arm. Solomon Islands could be properly disappointed by that.
Yeah, losing to Yemen 3-0. That is a big shock there. Tahiti now versus Turkmenistan.
2 of the teams that, well, Turkmenistan haven't started brilliantly. Tahiti fairly well, unbeaten.
Haven't let in a goal yet either, by the way.
They haven't, no.
And there's the jinx.
Wow, Turkmenistan moving up to the mythical 8th place isn't quite enough, but so far so good for them. Tahiti dropping points.
Yeah, Philippines now versus Taipei. Taipei now at the bottom with Yemen's victory. Philippines, it's that magical 7th place they're in so far, with a game in hand.
Absolutely, and Taipei, of course, yet to actually get a point on the board.
Yep, only team to not get a point as of yet, if you don't count Papua New Guinea, which we don't.
We don't.
Philippines 5-0, big win for them.
Massive win for them, massive win.
Yep, now Tajikistan versus Vanuatu. Tajikistan, the only team other than Afghanistan to have an unbeaten record so far.
100% record as well. Yet to concede a goal, but when they scored 4... They scored a lot more than 4 now.
Yep. It's not. It's not what Afghanistan did.
It isn't, no, but it is 11. 11's better than nothing.
Tajikistan have not let in a goal yet either.
Very impressive, but they're still second on goal difference. Amazing.
Yep. Afghanistan now, first place versus Myanmar, who's currently in 4th. So bit of a big clash here between these two.
Yep. 2 top of the table teams.
Afghanistan with a win, 4-0.
Massive result for Afghanistan.
Indeed, definitely. A team that, if you look at the FIFA rankings, is tipped to finish 9th in this. Running away with it so far.
Them and Tajikistan, I think, are going to be going head-to-head for this.
Yeah, certainly could be. Maldives now versus New Caledonia.
Both teams on 9 points. No, they're not. Maldives are way down. What am I on about?
Yeah, they're even further down now. They've let in 29 goals in 5 games.
They've let in 20 in the last 2.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad.
But New Caledonia up into 3rd now with a 5-0
Very
win.
good for them. Yes, excellent stuff.
Fiji, Singapore, 2 teams that are exceeding expectations, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah, I'd say so. 2 teams in the midfield as well.
Yep, definitely. It's a win for Fiji. Fiji move upwards.
Massive result. Massive result for Fiji there. They need to keep that momentum going.
Yep.
Moving up to 8th place.
Yep. Hong Kong about to get 3 more points here. I was about to say 5. No, they're not going to get 5 points. They'll be on 5 points.
Extra points for Hong Kong.
It's the Faroe Islands conspirator.
He's back. Look at this guy.
Bloody Braun, look at him. I thought the police had a go at him earlier. Apparently not. He's back to his day job. Refereeing games that probably don't matter in the biggest sense. Things. Unless one of these 2 become global trophy champions. Imagine Hong Kong.
Who are we to know? Who are we to know?
Champions. Oh, wow, well. Mr. Villeneuve being the man of the match for that.
Yeah. What a sneaky boy.
He's a very sneaky boy. How was he a man of the match, even though the match ended 3-0? That's how bad a referee Mr. Braun is.
Maybe he was just like on fire in goals, like saving everything, but just couldn't save everything.
No, I think Braun just scored 3 goals.
Okay, fair enough.
It was,
Turkmenistan and the Solomon Islands next up.
Yep, 2 teams on 6. The only 2 teams on 6 points here, both just barely outside the top 8. So yeah, this is mighty important for both teams.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh!
Massive result for Turkmenistan. Look at that. These 2 are evenly matched going into this.
Yeah, the Solomon Islands just absolutely crumbled. 13-1.
It's not going to plan for the Solomon. We were hyping them up, we thought. We were on for something special from the Solomon Islands, but now it's looking a bit ropey for them. They've conceded 21 in 5.
Yeah, the Asian teams are taking them to the cleaners. I was going to say take them to school, but that's stereotypical, so that's why I didn't say it.
Yes, very good.
You got to be wary in 2020 with whatever you say. Next up, it is one team versus another team.
It's Yemen and Tahiti.
Oh, cancel Sam on Twitter now. Yemen with the win there.
That's a massive result for Yemen.
Yemen have won.
Is that back-to-back wins?
That is back-to-back wins for Yemen, yes.
Wow. That 8th place is looking a bit insecure at the moment because, yes, okay, Singapore are level on points with most of them around them, but you got to think Tahiti, Fiji, Yemen, Solomon Islands, Hong Kong, Vanuatu, Maldives. They're all kind of a similar level of skill, I'd say.
Yeah, 4 points between them as well. And then you've got Myanmar, Philippines, and Turkmenistan, who are just 2 above Singapore as well.
Yeah, look at that. That's really close.
Yeah,
wow.
We're nearly a third of the way through as well.
We are indeed.
Taipei now versus Tajikistan. Taipei rooted to the bottom of the table at the moment.
And Tajikistan, of course, getting that massive win last time out.
Yep, flying high so far. They're still flying high, but they have finally let in a goal.
Well, I mean, Taipei could take some heart from that, I think. They didn't lose embarrassingly, and they did score. So fair play to Taipei.
They still haven't scored a point, though.
They haven't.
No, they haven't.
They have not.
Vanuatu versus the Philippines. Vanuatu, who started out good I'd say.
They've got a win, didn't they? They got that win, didn't they, early on?
Down in 13th, Philippines in 5th right now.
They're doing quite well, aren't they, Philippines?
Yeah, definitely. 4-0 for Philippines.
And they
still
continue.
going.
Look at that. Brilliant stuff for them.
And Afghanistan going to keep trying to get ahead and stay ahead of Tajikistan here against Papua New Guinea. So 3-point win for them there. It's G Pen, the referee.
I feel like his name would be Gus.
Gus Pen.
Yeah.
Guspen. I think it's just something that ends with like pen, like pun or something. Like Aspen or something like that, but Guspen.
Guspen. Or maybe his name's Ass.
Aspen.
Sorry, Gas. Gaspin with a silent G.
Gaspin. No, I think Gus. Gus works well. Gus Pen.
Gus Pen. Okay, alright, we'll go with Gus.
Right, my name's Gus. Alright, New Caledonia versus Singapore.
Singapore need a win, really, to pull themselves a bit higher up the table.
Yep, New Caledonia in 4th place right now, so they're looking good, but they certainly could do with a win to keep them in the higher echelons of this league.
Yep.
They do get it as well.
Yeah, 4-0. Good result.
Fiji now versus Maldives.
Maldives need something here if they want anything out of this competition, otherwise Fiji will start to pull away and that 8th place gets a little bit further away to attain.
Indeed. No, Fiji with the win there. 2-0.
Fiji move up to 5th, look at that.
Big lift for Fiji, up into 5th right now. And there are a lot of teams that are
stuff.
around them that haven't played their games yet in this 6th fixture.
Yes, of course, yes.
Myanmar now versus Hong Kong. Next up, Hong Kong in 12th place right now. Myanmar
Not
in
out
that
of the
magical
picture.
7th.
Yep, Myanmar started okay, I think.
Yep, they haven't done too badly. Well, that's better for them. 4-0.
Yep, will help with their goal difference as well. That could be crucial as it gets towards the end of this competition because things are starting to ramp up a little bit now. We're over a third of the way through.
Yep, Philippines now versus the Solomon Islands. Philippines up in 4th, Solomon Islands. A good start for them, but they're down in 11th now.
They need to turn their form around, Solomon Islands, and quick.
Not quick enough. 5-0 for Philippines.
Cracking result for the Philippines there. They move above Tajikistan for now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tajikistan play Tahiti next.
Maybe for however long it takes me to press this button. It's Tajikistan versus Tahiti. Tahiti in 8th. They do need this win.
To pull away from Singapore.
2-0 to
not
Tajikistan. Keeping the pressure on the league leaders, Afghanistan.
Yep. Now, Yemen have won the last 2 back-to-back. Can they go for 3 in a row against Taipei?
You damn right they can!
Cracking result for Yemen. Look at that. They've now lifted themselves up into that magical 8th spot to be the dud team, admittedly, but it's something.
Taipei still yet to score a point.
Yes.
Next, it is Turkmenistan versus Vanuatu. Again, Vanuatu had a good start, but they're down in 13th. They're still in 13th. They need a win immediately.
They do.
Nope.
8-0.
Oh, these Oceanian teams
Turkmenistan
are starting to tire out, I think, and the Asian teams are just battering them.
Yeah, I think so.
Singapore now versus Afghanistan. Singapore in 10th, Afghanistan right up there at the top. Oh! Afghanistan laying down the womps right now.
13-1. Wow. Second time that Afghanistan get double figures in this competition.
Yep, 7 games, 42 goals scored. That is the equivalent of 6 a game.
Unreal stuff from Afghanistan. Great start for them as well.
Yep, New Caledonia now going to get some points on the board with a victory over Papua New Guinea. And we'll see what corrupt referee we're going to get now. Oh, well, it's Mr. Doofus.
It's Mr. Doofus. It's the Doofus.
It's Mr. Doofus. What did we say his name was?
I can't remember. It was
Wasn't it like
we
Doug?
actually recorded. Yeah, it feels like that sounds
Doug
perfect to me.
Doofus.
Yeah, we actually recorded the European preliminaries last week. I think it was last week anyway.
2 weeks ago, I think it was. I think last.
Oh, was it
week
2 weeks ago? Okay.
was busy.
Well, either way.
Wink.
Yes, that's correct.
Fiji
Fiji and Myanmar next up.
Fiji, Myanmar. Well, 2 teams that could do with a win here. 1 in 7th, 1 in 6th.
Crunch match.
Yep, just above that 8th spot. It's Myanmar that pick up the win there.
And and they move themselves into 5th place for now.
Yeah, Maldives now versus Hong Kong. 2 teams at the bottom. Hong Kong really need the win more, I'd say. They get it. 2-1.
Yep. I think that pretty much rules the Maldives out at this point. Hong Kong still in with a chance.
Yep. Solomon Islands now. They need a win, but jeez.
They're desperate for a win. Against the form team in Tajikistan, though.
No.
10-0. Wow.
No.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah, Philippines now versus Tahiti. These Oceania teams are just starting to fall up. Bar Fiji.
Fiji doing alright, aren't
yeah,
they?
Yeah, Fiji who are still in there. Place. I think they did the same last year.
I think they finished 8th last season.
Yeah, I think last year they did better than we expected.
Yep.
This year, can they take that 7th spot?
We'll see. Philippines versus Tahiti is next up.
Philippines with a win. Tahiti starting to fall as well.
Yeah, they're not too far out of the picture, but you can certainly start to see the golfing quality between the Asian and the Oceania teams now, can't you?
Next up is Turkmenistan versus Taipei. Turkmenistan in 6th place at the moment. Taipei still haven't got 15th. Points.
Yeah, Turkmenistan started really slowly as well, but they've really come on strong now.
A 3-0 win for Turkmenistan there. Up into 5th there. Let me just have a look. Taipei still haven't got a point.
No.
Next up, Vanuatu versus Yemen. Vanuatu still in 13th there. Yemen up in 8th.
Vanuatu haven't won since the opening fixture. Can they turn it around here?
Nope!
12-0 to Yemen.
You know when it comes to the Asian qualifiers, you know you're going to see some goals go in just because there's a massive sort of difference between a lot of teams.
Yeah, the golfing quality is really starting to show now, and you know that if you look at that top 7 as well, the goal difference that they've got compared to all the other teams as well.
Yeah, 60 plus 16 plus 11 plus 21 plus 18 plus 20 plus 29 plus 40 for the leaders.
Yeah,
and they're next.
They are next against the Solomon Islands, who have a minus 31 goal difference.
It's worse now.
It's worse now. It's 9-1 to Afghanistan.
Afghanistan now going. Jesus, they're going bloody nuts. They are.
They are. They are indeed.
Tahiti currently 10th place. They've got New Caledonia, who currently lie in 4th. They're doing pretty good so far.
They are doing well.
Ooh, barely got away with the win there. Tahiti showing a bit of fire.
Scraping a win here. Fiji and Taipei 2-0. Well, Taipei isn't an Oceania team, but Fiji, the one Oceania team really that so far has shown quite a lot of spirit.
They're still showing it as well.
Good result. Brilliant result for Fiji.
It's a small win, but it's a win.
It's a win nonetheless. Absolutely.
Yeah, Vanuatu now versus Hong Kong. Vanuatu really need a win to try and stay anywhere at the moment. They're still in 13th after all this time.
They've got 4 points. Yep.
No, Hong Kong with the win.
They keep that pressure on Yemen and Fiji, Hong Kong, with that result. Good stuff for them.
Yep, Maldives now versus Yemen. Yemen looking
Maldives
to win.
Maldives are in big trouble, aren't they?
To take the pressure off a little bit.
They need something.
Yeah, 4-0 to Yemen.
They move above Myanmar as well on goal difference.
Yep. Oh, big crunch match here. Turkmenistan,
for how long?
5th and 7th.
Both on 15 points.
It's Turkmenistan with the win. Myanmar go down to 7th. Yemen move up to 6th permanently for the moment.
Good stuff for Yemen there. I wonder if Fiji will be able to turn that around in the next fixture.
Yep.
We'll see.
Philippines going to go to 21 points here with a victory over Papua New Guinea.
Starting to get a bit of an idea of how the league's going now. We're over halfway through for most teams, and you're starting to see the pecking order, aren't you now, really?
Pecking order!
Yes. Yes, very good.
It goes Faroe Islands, the dirt, the worms inside of the dirt. That's what it goes.
Thank you, Mr. Popo.
No problem, maggot.
R.I.P. Team 4-star.
I've got an alright Popo voice. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's sort of like half menace, half Kermit. Mine is, I guess. Yeah.
Bye. Tajikistan and Singapore. Singapore, if they want any chance of getting through. This is the time.
Sam, they're against Tajikistan. I don't know what you're on about on that one.
It's 7-0. It's 7-0. Why am I bothering?
It's 7-0. Tajikistan and Afghanistan. I can't wait for them to fight each other. It's gonna be an all-out punch fest.
It really is.
That's what it's gonna be between the top two sides. It was just neck and neck so far. Afghanistan now, speaking of one of those, versus Tahiti. Tahiti, 10th. They really need a win here, but no.
To keep in touch. Yeah. Only the 1-0 though for Afghanistan.
Afghanistan have kind
Mercy.
of been halted, not by much, because they still won, but they didn't win by millions.
They didn't.
Makes a
You're right.
change. Tahiti, not looking good for them at the moment, but Afghanistan, maybe against a highly defensive side, because if you look at Tahiti, they've only let in 10 goals. They've lost 6 games, and they've let in only 10 goals.
It is a shame, because Tahiti, I feel like they have got the ability to get into that top 8. It's just that they just end up just falling a little bit short. You know, they've scored 6 and conceded 10, but they've lost 6 and only won 2. It doesn't quite compute, does it?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they had a big win. I don't know if they had a big win earlier. I can't remember.
Might have been. Anyway, next up it is Solomon Islands falling fast against New Caledonia. Rising pretty well so far.
Yep. Solomon Islands have really shipped a few goals in the last few games.
Well, they've shipped a couple more.
It's only the 2,
It's
though.
only the
Fair
2,
enough.
but that's not looking good for Solomon Islands, especially when 7th place is now 9 points away for them.
Yeah, it's not looking great for them, with only 6 to go.
Yep, Vanuatu now versus Fiji. Fiji still in there fighting for it. Vanuatu pretty much out of it at this point, in 13th. Fiji 4-0. They're still going.
Wow. Fiji move up to 6th.
Yep, Taipei now
Look at
versus
that.
Hong Kong. Hong Kong need a win to try and keep the pressure on Myanmar and Yemen.
It's desperate for Hong Kong. If they don't win this one, then they can probably kiss their chances of automatic qualification goodbye.
Taipei finally gets some points!
Look at that from Taipei. A massive result for them. Wow.
Their 3rd goal of the league.
It's enough for a win against Hong Kong, who dropped back to 4 behind.
Hong Kong
Yemen and Myanmar.
stunted for the time being. Turkmenistan now versus the Maldives. Turkmenistan sitting pretty in 5th right now.
A win here will take them above the Philippines for now.
They get it. Oh! Afghanistan,
Nearly the record again.
Your record has gone.
Turkmenistan with 17 against the Maldives. Wow.
Who have now let in 54.
Wow. But they got to win. How do they get a win?
I don't know.
I think they got a 3-0 win against Papua New Guinea, didn't they? That was
Yeah,
it.
they did. I think so, yeah. Yemen now versus Myanmar. Yemen, 7th. Myanmar,
Massive match
8th.
this is. Massive match for both teams.
Oh, Myanmar with the win. Yemen, it was going great, but they choked at the point that they really needed a win.
They did, and they stay in 8th place behind Fiji as well.
Yeah, Fiji now move up to 7th place. Tajikistan going to be able to keep the pressure on Afghanistan here as they take their 3 points at Papua New Guinea.
So with 6 to go, I think we can safely say that the top 8 currently, I'm fairly sure, will qualify in that order, like in the top 8. It's just in what order will they finish?
Exactly. I mean, I think it has gotten to the point now that, I mean, yes, mathematically it is still possible for a lot of the other teams, but it is going to take divine intervention and probably, well, since this is a video game, hacking.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Singapore versus the Philippines. I believe this will finish off. Yep, we'll finish off the 9th fixture. It's Philippines with the win. Sitting
Keeping the pressure on
comfortably
that top 2, aren't they?
behind the top 2
look
there.
at that. Yep.
Afghanistan, they always go first when it's a new fixture. They just want to get it out of the way. They got Taipei, who have
Pressure
actually
for
got
win for
above
Taipei.
Maldives, by the way.
Yep, on goal difference.
3-0.
Only 3-0. Not bad.
Afghanistan not getting the big wins now.
I mean, they're averaging 5 a game, so it's still not bad.
But they're not getting they haven't got the big wins in the last couple of games. Have they started to tire out? They still got more than enough quality to beat a lot of teams in this preliminary league, but they start to tire out as we get close to the end of this.
as well as this, Afghanistan, because they are now 19 points clear, with Hong Kong only able to get another 18 points, Afghanistan have qualified.
Yes, but they, at the moment...
they have not got the magical...
They haven't got the automatic qualification as of yet. They could still be the Doug team.
Yeah, right.
Vanuatu now, pretty much out of it at this point. They have got New Caledonia, who are certainly not out of it at this point.
They're playing well, New Caledonia.
They're still going 4-0. Good game for that one there.
And move up to third place, not far behind Tajikistan.
Yep, Solomon Islands, only 6 points, 9 games. Fiji, a lot better, 16 points in 9 games.
Crucial for Fiji that they get a result here.
The pride of Oceania that is not Australia or New Zealand have won again.
And they win. Good result. Their 6th win. Their 6th win of the competition. Look at that.
Fiji is showing who is the true number 3 in Oceania, and it's Fiji right now from what I can see.
Brilliant stuff.
Hong Kong versus Tahiti. If Tahiti want any chance, they need to win here.
Same with Hong Kong, really. You have to say, both teams, this is it now.
Is Tahiti beating Hong Kong?
Wow.
2-1.
The only problem is for Hong Kong and Tahiti as well now. Like, Hong Kong are 7 behind Myanmar, and Myanmar have a game in hand with 5 to go. It's just, it's so hard to see them clawing it back.
It is. Tahiti may have just knocked out Hong Kong right there. Philippines now versus the Maldives. Philippines sitting pretty in 4th. Maldives licking their wounds more than usual. They're licking more now.
Double figures against the Maldives again. I think that's the 3rd time now.
Minus 65 goals against in 10 games. They're averaging 6.5 goals conceded a game.
That's ridiculous.
The Maldives. Right, Myanmar versus Tajikistan next up. Tajikistan still wanting to put as much pressure as possible on Afghanistan. At this point, for fun.
Yep, and Myanmar as well. If they get a loss here, they're in striking range of Yemen. Yemen's got far superior goal difference. This is crucial for their competition.
It's Tajikistan barely getting the win, but getting the win nonetheless. That means
they
that
do get the win.
Essentially, Afghanistan and Tajikistan need 1 point each to automatically qualify.
Automatically qualify. Yeah, I know, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yep. Yemen going to get their well-needed 3 points against Papua New Guinea here.
It does lift them to 7th, Yemen, above Myanmar.
Yep, and it's Jack Daniels, the referee. He's pissed.
Been on the whiskey, mate. What a legend.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Sam, do you know what sort of whiskey that he was drinking?
It was actually Jim Beam.
It was Gordon's. No,
that's a gin. That's a gin.
Gin, yeah. Sorry, he was having Gordon's gin.
Okay, fair enough. Singapore versus Turkmenistan.
Yep, Singapore. Let's
out
be
of
honest.
It, pretty much.
Let's be honest. Pretty much out of it. Turkmenistan, very much in it.
Yep.
Well,
10-1.
Well, there you go.
Wowee.
Turkmenistan now become the team in this league with the most goals scored.
With 58. Look at that.
58 goals scored for a team in 5th place.
Yeah.
Insane. Vanuatu versus Afghanistan, because of course it's the start of a new fixture. Afghanistan's got to be in there somewhere.
Yep.
All they need is a draw here, Afghanistan. You don't need to win. You don't need to hammer them. Okay, you kind of didn't. Fair play. But Afghanistan, first
4-0.
team through from the Asian qualifier preliminary leagues.
Yep, we'll see Afghanistan in the Asia section in 4 weeks' time.
Yep. Next up, Taipei versus New Caledonia, who are looking pretty good so far.
I think a win here for Dominican Republic, New Caledonia, will pretty much secure them as well, wouldn't it?
It'd be close. It'd be close.
More or less.
They'd still need probably an extra point just in case, but yeah, it would pretty much solidify them. They get it.
Good result for Dominican Republic, New Caledonia, and they're back into 3rd place. They're still putting the pressure on for that title, aren't they?
Yeah, they are at the moment. Philippines can also do that at the moment. It's all like a 4-horse race right now.
Yep.
Depending on how
Those
the
4 at the top.
Afghanistan-Tajikistan match goes, because they haven't fought yet.
They haven't, no, you're right.
Wow, they haven't fought. That's so weird. Get the Team 4-star references in today, aren't I? Jeez.
Absolutely.
I've been watching them play Among Us right at the moment. It's hilarious. Hashtag
Among Us.
Kaiser. Right. Tahiti versus Fiji. Fiji 6th place right now.
A win for Fiji, I think, will guarantee them top 8. A win for Tahiti gives them an outside chance of top 8.
It's Fiji. They're still going.
Huge result for Fiji. Huge result for Fiji.
They see what happened last year and they do not want to repeat it. They go 4 clear of 7th and 8th,
Yep,
but with a game in hand for Yemen and Myanmar at the moment.
Absolutely. Hong Kong and the Solomon Islands. Hong Kong need to win this one, otherwise it's game over pretty much.
Yep, Solomon Islands will be out if they don't win this.
Yep.
It's a Hong Kong win. Solomon Islands are out. Alongside, obviously, Vanuatu, Taipei, and the Maldives, obviously.
It does give Hong Kong a little sniff of a chance, doesn't it? Look at that. They're only 4 behind Yemen and Myanmar now.
It does. They do have a shot at it. Tajikistan now versus the Maldives. Maldives already out.
They conceded over 10 3 times. Will it be more again?
Yep.
Yes.
78 goals against. They are now averaging over 7 goals against a match.
Unbelievable this is.
Wow. Philippines now versus Myanmar. Myanmar in 8th place. Philippines in 4th.
Yep, crunch match this for the Myanmar team. They need to really hope that they don't get battered too badly, otherwise that could be a problem later on.
Certainly could be. 2-1 Philippines.
Not a bad result, but it's not great, is it?
It's not great because Yemen are still yet to play.
I think they'll end up playing Singapore.
Yes, I believe they will, because next one is Turkmenistan, who are going to get the 3 points here against Papua New Guinea.
They're only 6 points off the lead, Turkmenistan, as well. They're not out of it either.
Yeah, but it's those top teams that have just essentially ran away with it, really. Those top 4.
Yeah, they've booked, haven't they?
It's a dent. His first name's obviously Axie, right? Of course. So, Mr. Referee Accident has, got to get those puns in sometimes, you know. Has tripped and fallen over.
He's been to the medical centre.
He's been to the ER, followed by the OR, so it was a bit more serious.
Oh dear.
And, yep, and he's just given the win to Turkmenistan. Fair play. Singapore, Yemen. Yemen need this to try and pull away.
Yemen do need this. Singapore, if they don't win this, I believe, are pretty much at... Well, yeah, if Singapore don't win this, they can only get 8th at best, Singapore, so...
Yes, yeah, they need to win this. Nope, Yemen with the win.
And they play again, Yemen, straight away, back-to-back, against Afghanistan next up.
Of course, it's the first of the fixture.
Exactly.
Oh! Yemen with the draw!
That's huge for Yemen. Obviously, that lifts them above Fiji.
That's big
goal difference.
That's big for Tajikistan, that is.
That's massive.
To take the title. Fair play to Yemen right there.
The first team to get any points out of Afghanistan this competition. Look at that.
Yeah, and it's Yemen. Fair play to them. It'll be such a shame if they don't make it after that performance. After that one match.
Yeah, pretty much. And next up is Dominican Republic, New Caledonia, or Turkmenistan. Can they keep the pressure on that top group?
4th and 5th. A win for Dominican Republic secures their qualification. Not their automatic qualification, but their qualification. Turkmenistan, still a little bit to go for them, though. It's a draw.
It's a draw. I actually do think that does... Oh, no, it does not automatic, but a qualification, I think, has been acquired as well by Dominican Republic, I think, maybe?
Yeah,
no. They're 13 clear.
No.
Yeah, they're 13 clear with 4 to go.
Sorry?
They've qualified, but they haven't automatically qualified. That's what I mean.
Technically, they have automatically qualified.
Yeah, because some teams have to play each other still, don't they?
So, yeah, no, but they got 11. There's 4 to go, but Fiji, even if Fiji win, Yemen goes down to 7th, and Yemen still has 22.
Right. Well, they could get caught on goal difference, but
no,
again,
because there's
unlikely.
9 points left.
Yeah, and Yemen's 9 behind Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about Tajikistan. Never mind. Yeah, they're close. They're close. Then again, look at that goal difference, though. Let's be honest.
It's only 3.
Yeah, for Fiji. Anyway, Philippines versus
for
Fiji.
Fiji.
Let's see what happens here.
Crucial for Fiji to keep the pressure on. If they win, they go 3 clear of Yemen.
Nope, Philippines with the win here, keeping the pressure on Afghanistan at the top. They want that title.
They do. Hong Kong, this is make or break time.
Yep, for Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Ooh.
Tough match against Tajikistan.
8.
Tough match.
8 behind Fiji. No.
9-1, and Tajikistan take the lead for the first time.
Still, Afghanistan and Tajikistan get to play against each other. Solomon Islands, Maldives, no one cares about that match. It ends in a draw. Hurrah.
It's a tie. Myanmar, though, need a result against Tahiti to keep the pressure on Fiji and Yemen.
Yeah. Tahiti with the win! Oh, that could solidify Myanmar as the dud.
A bit of breathing space for Fiji and Yemen, but Myanmar don't get the win. That's crucial for their competition.
Yep.
And, well...
Yemen and Fiji, who didn't have... Okay, Yemen, yes.
Getting that point against Afghanistan, and of course Fiji losing to... I think it was it Tajik? No, it wasn't Tajikistan. It was...
Philippines?
It was someone in that top group, wasn't it?
But yeah, so technically neither team really did amazingly well when it comes to points.
No.
But against the caliber of team they were playing,
yeah,
they did pretty
absolutely.
damn well. Singapore,
Yeah,
Vanuatu, nothing match really. Ends in a draw, of course.
It's a tie, yeah. This is a big crunch match now.
Yeah.
In terms of the title.
Turkmenistan versus Afghanistan.
If Turkmenistan do win, that does mean they automatically qualify as well, I think.
They'd be close to
Pretty
it.
much. On goal difference, they're not going to get caught.
Yeah. Afghanistan still get the win there, so fair play.
Crucial for them, and this is another big crunch match now for Yemen. This is their time to shine if they're going to do it.
Yep, against New Caledonia. Yemen win!
Massive result for Yemen. Massive result.
Can Fiji follow it? They got Tajikistan. No!
3-0 win to Tajikistan.
Yeah, Myanmar have a chance here. Hong
They do
Kong,
have a chance.
they still need a win here. It's against the Philippines, who are third. I think we might be saying goodbye to Hong Kong here. Yeah.
They can still get the 8th place, but I don't think it's... Well, they can't catch Fiji now, can they?
They can't catch Fiji. Maldives, Tahiti, 2 teams that are already out.
Well, Tahiti can still catch
Well, they can.
Fiji, technically.
They can technically. Well,
They can.
they still can.
Wow. And the goal difference is in their favour as well, Tahiti.
Yeah, fair play to Tahiti there. 12 goals for, 12 goals against.
Not bad.
Good for them. Solomon Islands, Myanmar. Myanmar in that 8th place. They need a win here. They desperately need the win.
Yeah, a win here gives them a real shot at Fiji, doesn't it?
Yeah. Myanmar win
10-0.
10-0.
They've hit form at the right time, haven't they, Myanmar here? And Fiji's starting to look a bit ropey once again.
Yeah. Yemen looking strong still after their good outing against Afghanistan. Vanuatu going to get some points here. Not that it matters, but Vanuatu gets some points here.
That's what matters. Good for Vanuatu. That's their second win of the competition.
Yay. Their first one was in the first... Was it the first match?
First fixture, yeah.
First fixture and the third to last fixture. Well done, Vanuatu!
And that's all you're going to get.
6 points. Well done. Actually, I think they got more than
6 points is 6 points.
Yeah, probably got 7 or 8, I think. Something like that. Yeah, they got 8.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, good for them.
Still shit, but they got 8.
Yeah, good for them.
Singapore now versus Taipei.
Taipei.
Singapore out of it. So they couldn't even beat Taipei. Taipei, get another point out the bag.
Excellent stuff. Now, fixture number 14.
Oh, I wonder how you knew. Is it because Afghanistan's playing first?
Yes, it is.
Of course it is. Afghanistan versus the Philippines.
So the last match will be Tajikistan and Afghanistan in the final fixture.
Jeez, Afghanistan's had to take on the 2 strongest teams
at the
Back
end.
to back.
Could be interesting, this.
Oh, and Philippines take them.
Massive result for Philippines, and it lifts them above Afghanistan. Look at that.
Not only
They
takes
led
them,
for
but
so
takes their
long.
spot. Tajikistan's got 4, so we just had a battle between the top 4 right there. Tajikistan
Dominican
with New
Republic.
Caledonia here.
This is a chance for Tajikistan to pretty much win.
Yeah, to pretty much pull ahead
league.
here. Oh, they do as well. Oh no, this
Wow.
is penultimate crunch match fixture. This is, look at that.
Yemen versus Fiji. A huge match in the
Huge
context of
match.
this. If Fiji win, it doesn't guarantee them. Well, it doesn't guarantee them top 7. But
it does
it's a
push
massive shot in the
Yemen
arm.
down. That's more important.
Yeah, it puts them in-
A scapegoat for Myanmar, possibly, if Fiji win.
Massive match.
Yemen, if they win, they will qualify.
They automatically qualify, yeah.
Draw!
Doesn't really help either of them, does it?
The door is open for Myanmar to take that dud team and give it to Fiji.
It does now also mean that Tahiti can no longer automatically qualify.
Yep, they're out. Fiji only needed a point to send them home, so yeah.
We have our top 8, pretty much.
Yep, so Tahiti can still get 8th, but that's a long stretch.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
Yep, Turkmenistan now versus Hong Kong. Turkmenistan up in 5th. They've already qualified.
They have.
4-1. They're still looking pretty strong.
Yep, they are. They won't catch 3rd, but I think 4th place, I think they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think they'll be pretty good with that. Maldives, Taipei's a garbage match.
Taipei with a win.
Maldives lose.
Shock.
Vanuatu, Myanmar, not a garbage... Okay, it's a garbage match from half of it. Myanmar, though, really need the win to put the pressure on Fiji.
If they don't win, it is pretty much in Fiji's court then.
Yeah. 4-1 Myanmar.
But they do
Fiji
win.
dropped to 8th.
So that does mean, unless there's a 26-goal swing as well, Yemen will also automatically qualify. So that you can pretty much say that they've qualified.
Yeah, and that knocks out Tahiti completely.
Yep, so Tahiti will at best finish 9th.
Yep, Solomon Islands versus Papua New Guinea. So Solomon Islands did get some points on the board, but they've really disappointed in my opinion. I thought they were going to do a lot better than that after that start.
Yeah, they started, I think they got 2 back-to-back wins, didn't they, at the start, Solomon Islands,
Yeah.
but it just hasn't worked out for them.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do amazingly well, and well, so it come back to bite me there. I thought hyping them up pretty good. Yeah, maybe that if your team keeps doing good in the FIFA rankings, maybe you won't need to come back here anyway. So keep at it,
Yeah.
Solomon Islands.
Big up.
Right, Tahiti, Singapore.
Singapore.
Bit of a garbage match here. Both teams are already out. It's a draw. Tahiti weren't going to make it through anyway. Right, final fixture, crunch time.
So Tajikistan have pretty much won the division, but they'll want to put the unbeaten cherry on the top of the cake here, won't they? And they've done it. 15 wins.
15 matches, 15 wins. Only 3 goals against. What a performance from Tajikistan this year.
Huge result. Brilliant stuff from them, and well done. And Afghanistan will have to be a bit upset that they only finished, well, they're only going to finish 3rd in the end.
Yeah, and they didn't win in their last 3.
No, they really fell off the wagon towards the end, didn't they?
Yeah, Dominican Republic now versus Philippines. Afghanistan going to have to stay with 3rd.
Yep, this is a Dominican Republic opportunity to finish 4th.
It's not happening. Philippines with the win, so that means that Turkmenistan, unless things go terribly wrong and we get a world record for Fiji, a global trophy record, it needs to be 32 goals to go Fiji's way.
As well as this, Fiji do need to win
They
this, because
do.
if they don't, they go behind Myanmar, and that's where
Oh,
they'll
not
stay.
again, not again, Fiji. Not again.
It'd be so harsh on Fiji. They've been so good throughout this.
Not again, Fiji. No, Fiji!
Oh, it's happened, and Fiji will finish 8th as our dud team.
Yeah, Myanmar, Yemen qualify here. Yemen, Hong Kong, it really doesn't matter at this point. Yemen with the 4-0 win, so they solidify 6th. Myanmar will take 7th.
They will.
Maldives,
there you go.
Vanuatu ends in a draw, so Maldives gets another point on the board.
Desmond there for the Maldives.
Yep. Taipei, Myanmar. Wow, that ended in a draw, so if Fiji had just won,
they would have done it.
They would have gone past Myanmar. Tahiti, Papua New
Wow.
Guinea. Again, very nothing match.
Tahiti actually has a positive goal difference, which I find amazing.
Well, they got solid defence, haven't they? But they just don't have any good strikers.
They didn't score enough.
Yeah.
They scored 16, conceded 13 in 15 games. That's really good.
Yeah.
They just didn't. They just kept losing.
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
They got a brilliant defence. It's like they got Van Dijk and Ramos at the back, but at the front they got like a drunk pub league, a couple of strikers.
So they got me and you up front.
Pretty much, yeah. I'd be terrible on
Tahiti-
corner headers.
Tahiti finished 9th, only 3 behind Fiji in the end.
Yep, not bad. Singapore, Solomon Islands to finish off the sets. It's a win for Singapore. So Solomon Islands, disappointing again.
Yep, finishing down in 13th place. Ugh.
Yeah, very bad. Okay, so if you don't count Papua New Guinea, because obviously they're the dud team, they'll finish in bottom with no points. The rankings go in 15th place with 5 points. Maldives.
Conceding 85.
That's all you need to say about them, really, isn't it?
Goodness me. Yeah, I mean, wow.
14th place, I really thought this team would have done better. Vanuatu with 9 points.
They started quite well with that win, didn't they? But it all kind of fell apart not long after that, didn't it?
Yeah, speaking of falling apart, 13th place with 10 points, the Solomon Islands.
Sorry, man. Do you want to do that one again?
No, we're not editing anything out. If you're not editing my pizza eating out...
My dog and my cat decided to want to eat each other.
Again?
Yeah, again.
Alright, so... Yeah, Solomon Islands, 13th place with 10 points. They had such a good run,
Yeah.
good start, but... Terrible finish.
Didn't get enough... Didn't get enough wins on the board, did they? They won 3 games, but obviously one of those was against Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
And the other 2 were at the start of the bloody league.
Yep.
Early bloomers, but yeah. Wilted just as fast, really. 12th place. They were able to get some good points on the board, actually, considering how bad they were for most of the season. Taipei.
They had a good end, didn't they? And if you look at their goal difference as well, their goals for and against, yes, they scored the least in the league, which is a big problem, but they only conceded 26, which when you look at the numbers around them, 49 for Singapore, 63 for Solomon Islands, 85 for the Maldives. It's not a terrible run.
Yeah, it's not
just
bad.
that they didn't. Again,
they're just crap.
they are.
Next up, 11th place with 13 points, Singapore.
Singapore, it was looking okay at one point for them. They started pretty well. They were in that top 8, but just fell apart, didn't it, for them?
Honestly, you could have just said its name and then gone away with it. They were Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore.
They were certainly Singapore, weren't they? This time
They
round.
certainly were.
10th place with 14 points. They had a sniff for maybe 2 matches. It's Hong Kong.
They kind of threw it away towards the end, didn't they? But I think they had a rough run in for Hong Kong. And, again, 14 points, top 10 finish for them isn't the worst. But, yeah, outclassed in the end.
Definitely. Now we get to the teams that actually had a bloody chance at this. 9th place with 20. Fiji did have another contender in the Oceanias, but turned up a bit late. Tahiti.
They did. Again, if you look at their goal record, it isn't terrible. It's just that they just didn't score enough, and they lost too many games by just the one odd goal.
Yeah.
With 6 wins, 7 defeats. Not enough.
Yep. As we mentioned before, great defence. Me and Sam up front.
Yeah, basically.
In 8th place, so qualifying again, but being the dud
As
team,
the dud team
again. It's Fiji with 23.
Fiji. God damn it, Fiji. One day they're going to qualify as an actual team and they're going to be able to compete, but not this time.
Well,
it's a shame.
The problem is that they were only one rank higher than Papua New Guinea in the FIFA, rankings.
They might have to be the dud team next year.
For
overall.
this?
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we're
such a
used to being
shame.
dud teams anyway, it's fine.
Yep.
Next up, in 7th place with 25 points, Myanmar.
Getting through by the skin of their teeth. They didn't win that last game, did they?
Yeah, Fiji could have done it. Could have done it.
They needed a big win though, didn't they? Fiji against was it Turkmenistan? I think in their last game.
Yeah, it was.
So, yeah, needed a win. Didn't happen.
Speaking of big results, 6th place with 29, Yemen.
That draw against Afghanistan, I think, changed their competition.
Yeah.
Because I think they were going to head out otherwise.
Yeah, and they actually ended up 8 points behind Afghanistan. Think how crazy that is.
Yeah, not far behind our next team.
Yeah, New
result for
Caledonia
Yemen.
going through with 31 in 5th place.
Yeah, only 8 conceded as well for them, which shows again, just they didn't score many goals, but they just kept it solid at the back, and they had a decent run of things to New Caledonia. Respectable 5th place.
Exactly. 4th place with 34. Now we get to the bigger teams here. Turkmenistan with their plus 57 goal difference.
Started slowly, but really ramped up towards the end, didn't they?
Well, especially when they fought Maldives.
Of course, they beat Afghanistan, didn't they?
Oh,
no, they drew. No, they didn't draw.
No, they
lost.
won.
No, because Afghanistan lost against Philippines and Tajikistan, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost to Afghanistan then.
Oh, okay. So they might have had them early on or something. I can't remember. But basically, Turkmenistan.
Well, it was
really
certainly early
slowly.
on in the fixture, of course, because they're Afghanistan.
Yeah, very, very good.
But I'll be here
yeah,
all week.
I think that Turkmenistan could be quite happy with 4th place, considering how slowly they started.
Yep, and then the second of the stands finished 3rd place. Great beginning. One of the worst ends I've seen for a team that qualified so well. It's like they qualified and then gave up. Maybe to rest their team for the rest of the tournament until the Asian qualifiers. It's Afghanistan in 3rd place.
Yeah, the wheels kind of fell off, didn't they?
Might be to rest their bigger players for the Asian qualifiers. Who knows?
Possibly. But yeah, I think for the most part they were probably the best team in this, weren't they? Like for most of the fixtures, they were just so good.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
62 goals and 7 conceded in 15 is remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Sneaking into 2nd place with 42. Fall under the radar there, but really good performance. The Philippines.
Yeah, we highlighted them at the start of this, didn't we? We kind of said they tend to qualify if they get into the qualifiers, but you know they did quite well, and I think they can be happy to only lose to Tajikistan.
Yep, and no surprise actually that the top 2 in this league are the same top 2 the FIFA rankings predicted. With Philippines finishing 2nd and 1st place, undefeated, scoring 69 nice goals.
Nice.
Letting in 3 probably pretty shitty goals, with a plus 66 goal difference and 45 points out of a maximum of 45. It is Tajikistan.
Yeah, they were fantastic, weren't they? They were so good. And
well, most amount of
hopefully
goals scored, least amount of goals conceded, not a single point dropped. You gotta say that's close
very
to
impressive.
a perfect preliminary league for one team as you can get.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's the nice way to put it, really.
Yeah, a perfect performance, a near perfect performance for Tajikistan. You know, there's not much more. The only sort of blotches on that is the 3 goals against, and when you counter that with the fact that, you know, they scored 23 times more goals for than they did against.
It's impressive. It's very.
It's a big sign that they could be dark horses for the Asian qualifiers.
Yep, it's could go either way, really. They've kind of always shown a bit of promise, but we'll see how they get on.
Exactly, and with that, folks, Tajikistan are the winners of the preliminary league.
Of the league.
It says in the fine print preliminary. It does.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'll edit this in later. I'll just put like little word preliminary just like there. Like with the reverse V, like the upside down V that you usually put in if you forget to put a word in when you're writing stuff.
Yes,
You remember that?
a little arrow.
You remember school?
Yeah.
You remember no stress?
Nope.
I do. It was called school.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. But with that, Tajikistan undefeated, untested, you could say, winners of the Preliminary League, and they'll be going to the Asian Qualifiers with a big reputation.
We'll see how they get on. It could go either way for them. I'm confident that... Well, I can't wait for the Asia qualifiers, to be honest with you. There's so many good teams in there. It's a lot of fun, Asia.
Yep, Tajikistan will be joined alongside, well, just to name off a few, the UAE, Australia, Malaysia, Japan, Saudi Arabia, former Global Trophy finalists South Korea, Qatar, Iraq, Vietnam
Indonesia as well. Indonesia have also won the Asia section in the past.
Yep, and the current the Asia section champions, Iran.
Good team. Very good team.
They're going to be looking at the Tajikistan stand side and going, that's one
Fancy
to
a bit
look
of that.
out for.
It is, yeah.
Unless you're a
We'll
team
see how
like
they
North
go.
Korea, or you'd shit yourself.
You want to keep your eye on them for a different reason.
Then get
They're a bit
shot.
shifty.
With that out of the way, folks, speaking of getting shot, we'll be probably talk about that next week, because there are a lot of teams here that you probably could get shot at in that country, but never mind, that's what you get when you live in this country instead, where it still happens, but nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
So with that, folks,
basically,
we'll be seeing you next week for the next one, the Africa qualifiers, including teams such as Lesotho, Guinea-Bissau, Niger.
yes.
Why haven't you changed your name yet? It's 2020. Ugh. I keep getting worried every time I say it. Togo, Sierra Leone, former Global Trophy finalist Sierra Leone, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Libya, Mozambique, and of course, everyone's favourite, Tanzania. Oh no! Former winners of the Preliminary League, or the league, Kenya. They're in it again.
Oh, they're in it again?
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes next week. So I've been Masterath.
Up in San at 64.
And we'll see you next week for the Global Trophy Africa Qualifiers, the Preliminary League.
See ya.
then.